Welcome back, history buffs. Today we're going to sweat it out as we dive into the ingenious and downright bizarre ways ancient people dealt with the heat. Forget your modern AC and ice-cold lemonade. These folks had some wild tricks up their togas. Let me just grab my 7-Eleven Slurpee and we can chill with the ancients. Right then. Let's crank up the history fan, shall we? First up, the Romans. These guys were all about luxury, and their homes were no exception. They had atria and courtyards, essentially open-air living rooms that provided shade and natural ventilation. Picture an ancient open-air living room, like having a luxury patio in the middle of your house. It's like the Romans invented the first ever chill lounge. My goodness, that sounds so good right now. I'm currently in the southern United States, where the humidity is so thick, I'm actually sweating in the shower. Now, let's talk about the Aztecs. They created chinampas, or floating gardens, that not only provided food, but also cooled the air through water evaporation. Could you farm on a floating island? Think of it as an ancient floating farm with a built-in climate control, like the Aztec version of hydroponics, but way cooler. When the heat was unbearable, people in ancient times turned to cool drinks and light meals to stay refreshed. Imagine having ancient smoothies, like a historical version of your favorite summer drinks. But instead of a frappuccino, you might be sipping on a barley water or some watered-down wine. Okay, so it's not a mojito, which sounds so good right now. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. But you see the point. It fulfilled its function. What's your go-to summer drink? Comment below. And then there were the Greeks, who took cooling off to a whole new level. They stored snow in insulated pits to use during the summer for cooling drinks and making icy treats. Could you handle ancient snow cones? Imagine chilling with a snowball in July, like an ancient popsicle, and you thought your freezer was cool. Let's talk architecture. Ancient homes were built with thick walls and small windows to keep interiors cool by minimizing heat entry. Imagine living in a fortress-like house, like building your own medieval castle to stay chill. It's the original keep-out-the-heat strategy, and it worked like a charm. We're not done cooling down just yet, because Persians were way ahead of their time with their wind towers, or badgers. These towers directed wind into buildings and expelled hot air, creating a natural air conditioning system. Think of it as the original ceiling fan, like a wind tunnel designed by Mother Nature herself. It's so effective, you might just want to build one in your backyard. It's super ecological and totally free in use. I would live in a wind tower, how about you? Now here's a cool one, literally. The Romans invented the hypocaust system, which could also be used to cool their luxurious baths by circulating cool air. Could you imagine a heated floor that also cools? It's like having a dual-function thermostat, centuries ahead of time. And you thought underfloor heating was a modern luxury. The ancient Egyptians had a clever method too. They hung wet reed mats in doorways to cool the air through evaporation. Picture an ancient Egyptian fanboy. No, not that kind of fanboy. There you go, that's more like it. Imagine him setting up a DIY air conditioning with nature's own materials. It's simple, effective, and totally eco-friendly. I have the impression that the ancients had a solution to each of our problems, but in harmony with nature and ecology. Their solutions are surprisingly effective without the use of modern technology. But let's not forget the hand fans. Made from palm leaves, paper, or other materials, these were the ultimate personal cooling devices. Picture ancient fan fashion, like carrying a stylish accessory that's also functional. Think of it as the OG portable fan, perfect for keeping cool and looking cool as well. Let's head to ancient Japan, where they practice yuzazumi, the art of enjoying the evening cool. As the sun set, people would gather near rivers or gardens to relax and cool off. Think of it as a sunset party, but without the Instagram stories. Imagine sitting by the water, sipping sake, and soaking in the evening breeze, like a Zen version of a beach bonfire. Now that's what I call living cool. Let's talk about Mashru, intricate wooden lattice screens used in Arabic architecture. These screens allowed cool breezes to flow into homes while keeping the sun out. like having your own personal wind filter. Plus, they added a touch of style to every building. It's like opening your windows to the perfect breeze every time. The Native Americans of the Great Basin region have their own cool ideas. Wikups. These dome-shaped huts were made of tree branches and covered with brush or grass. The materials allowed air to circulate while keeping out the sun, creating a naturally cool interior. Think of it as your own personal nature dome, like living in a cool green igloo. In ancient India, people built step wells, which were not only water sources but also places to cool off. These wells descended deep into the earth, with each step taking you closer to cooler temperatures. Picture a giant staircase leading down to a refreshing pool, like descending into nature's own air-conditioned basement. The Babylonians knew a thing or two about keeping cool as well. They created roof gardens, the ancient equivalent of a rooftop lounge, complete with plants and water features like fountains to cool the air. Imagine lounging on a rooftop with greenery all around, like a luxury penthouse with a built-in oasis. Imagine, be there, sipping old barley water. Now that's the life. Let's head to medieval Europe, where people stored ice and snow in specifically designed ice houses to keep their food and drinks cool during the summer. These ice houses were essentially ancient refrigerators, buried deep underground to maintain a cool temperature. Imagine digging out ice cubes in July from your underground freezer, like a medieval popsicle vault. And funny fact, still in Slavic countries, people dig a natural refrigerator in the ground and store some of their food and preserves there. Another eco-friendly tip from the past. In ancient Turkey, they took cooling down to new depths with their cisterns. These massive underground reservoirs stored water and created cool environments perfect for escaping the heat. The most famous of these is the Basilica Cistern in Istanbul. It even had a mysterious and eerie vibe with its rows of columns and cool, echoing space. Imagine taking a break from the summer sun in a hidden underground palace. It's like having your own secret lair to chill in. The Persians were another ancient culture that mastered the art of keeping cool. They built massive ice houses, or yakhchuls, which stored ice and food in the scorching desert. These structures were designed to keep ice from melting even in the hottest of temperatures. Imagine having your own refrigerator in the middle of the desert, like living in a giant ice cream cone. Ice cream. Oh, don't get me started. But just wonder, how did they do this without electricity and today's knowledge? Any ideas? Anyone? Last but not least, in Morocco, they designed their homes, or riads, around central courtyards filled with plants and fountains to create a naturally cool environment. These courtyards acted like nature's air conditioner, keeping the temperature down even when it was blazing hot outside. Imagine stepping out into a lush, cool garden every morning, like having a luxury spa in the middle of your house. Which one of these was your favorite? Let us know in the comments section. If you've enjoyed this icy cool exploration, perhaps you'll also enjoy this video. Stay tuned, because we've got plenty more historical hilarity coming your way. We're always ready to feed your curiosity. Thanks ever so much for watching.